My problem isn't that Colin Cowherd made this statement. My problem is that Colin Cowherd would never make this statement about another president, former or current, like he did right here. And that's my entire problem with this, is the hypocrisy surrounding these situations from these analysts. Now, I firmly believe that Colin Cowherd is doing everything he can to keep his co-host or assistant or whatever she is, Joy Taylor, happy, because we all know where her politics are. And Colin, I've always liked Colin Cowherd. I like watching his show. I enjoy him. I think he has fantastic takes. I also think that he plays both sides of the situation in the best way he possibly can. And then once he ultimately sees which way that is going to go, he then moves fully into that. He knows exactly what he's doing, but he's also one of the top guys for a reason. I think he does genuinely have good sports takes from time to time. But this right here is just another example of the media being completely biased and completely out of control. And again, in isolation, him having an individual take is not the problem. It's the fact that we know that he could not have the opposite take with another president, former or current, or even a major politician. It's not like he could say this about AOC reporters. He couldn't say this about Nancy Pelosi supporters. Are there any, though? He would never be able to say that. He would never say this about Biden supporters. He would never say this about Obama supporters. He would never say that. That's the problem here. Colin Cowherd, your hypocrisy is fine when it comes to sports, but when you're starting to get into the political side of things, I have to imagine he's referenced, Michael Jordan's Republicans buy sneakers too. I would have to. Maybe he hasn't. I've heard that reference so many times that it's I'm losing track of who has referenced it before. But Cowherd is just leaning into what is popular in his industry because he doesn't actually have the balls to have a real opinion on any topic. So he's just bending the knee to the mob mentality that's going on, and that's continuing all over the place. Everywhere you look, it's that mob mentality. It's the NPC nature. It's people just bending the knee to whatever the current narrative is. And of course, the current narrative has been anti-Trump forever and a day in the current sports media. And this is why so many people were turned off by ESPN, because of their political bias. And it was so obvious. And Colin Cowherd, I think, has done a decent job of kind of staying out of that. He'll make his comments here and there, and he usually brings them into some type of analogy, things like that. If I'm not mistaken, I believe he had Trump on his show either prior to the 2016 election or right after. I believe he had him on. And, now he's just continuing to fall into this nonsense. So that's my problem with it. It's the hypocrisy. But wanted to cover this really quick, and obviously I'm going to be back on Sports Wars making a lot of content as we get into football season. There's some stories about Mac Jones right now, about him struggling in training camp. I think that's an interesting take. That's going to be an interesting story to follow. You also have Tua in Miami, which I'm very happy about, and Tyreek Hill being there. I'm interested to see how that plays out. We obviously have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which I'll be following, and then we of course have college football, which I'm very interested to be digging into that and giving you my takes on that. So football season is here, it's back, and unlike the mainstream media, you'll actually get honest takes here. And whether you're a Trump voter or a Biden voter or not a voter at all, whether you care about politics or not, you're welcome here to be part of our discussion. And that's just how it is. ESPN can't say the same thing, and clearly Colin Cowherd could never say the same thing because his co-host would lose her mind and start crying. You guys have a great day. Thank you very much for checking out this video, and we will talk to you later.